Hey everybody, Sharon here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in the Shattered Bloodline Update 2 Dead by Daylight, going for the Adept Adam achievement. This one's going to be done from the Survivor side. It is to escape a game as Adam, only using his 3 unique perks. You are going to need Adam for this, so make sure you grab him from the DLC pack or from the in-game store. You also need to make sure you get him to a minimum of level 10 in order to open up 3 perk slots. The perks you want to equip and only equip are going to be Diversion, Deliverance, and then Autodidact. Leave the 4th slot empty if you have that available to you, and you can do whatever you want for items, add-ons, or offerings. Once you have your setup in place, make sure you get into the game, and your goal is to escape using this build. So Adam is going to be a pretty decent character. 2 of his perks are going to be completely useless, and then 1 of them is going to be very useful. So you are going to have Autodidact, which is basically going to reduce the amount of penalty you get if you miss a skill check when healing a survivor. It's not going to work if you are using a first aid kit, unfortunately, so again, not super useful. It's only real useful if you are this far into the game and are still having trouble with skill checks for whatever reason. So if you are a rather clumsy healer, you can take advantage of that if you really want to. As for his first perk, which is going to be Diversion, this one is going to be super useless. You are basically going to be able to throw a rock whenever you are crouching. The rock is going to make a noise, which may distract the killer, but again, this isn't going to be pretty useful since you are more likely than not going to be playing against a killer who is going to be pretty smart to these things. So this rock is going to be super useless, just like the rock in the NES Friday the 13th, so make sure you do use it for fun, but again, it's not going to be super useful as it's probably not going to distract the killer at any point, and more likely than not is probably going to bring the killer to you, which is something you don't want, especially if you plan on escaping. As for his third perk, it's going to be super useful as long as you can get the conditions right. It's going to be Deliverance. It's basically going to give you a 100% chance of escaping from the hook if it's your first hook state, but the catch is you need to make sure you rescue a fellow teammate safely before it can kick in. So it's only going to be really useful if the killer doesn't find you as their first target. Otherwise, if you are put on the hook first, it's going to become completely useless for the rest of the game, so do take advantage of it whenever it is useful. That being said, nothing beats good old Dead by Daylight fundamentals, so try your best to get to the end of the game. You can escape through either method, either through one of the 2 exit gates or through the hatch if all of your buddies die. Once you do manage to make it to the results screen with the escape status using this build, you should be good for the achievement. It's going to be for 20 gamer score, and that's all there is to it.